All right, so we have this bad version of the stack that seems to be not doing the right thing with memory allocation, deallocation. As a result of this, we should say shallow copy. The shallow copy, the deep copy would be if that when we made a copy of an object, the deep copy would mean that we actually made a copy of this dynamically allocated memory block, right? The deep copy would mean that the second stack, if we ever produce the second version of the stack as a copy of the original, should have created its own version of the memory block that was provided originally. That would be called deep copy. But right now we have a shallow copy, which instead of doing this, actually does this, still points to the original memory block, and we realize that Destructor does something really drastic with it, and the lifetimes of the two stacks are different, and therefore we are in serious trouble. So let's just say, okay, let's debug this. I'm going to build it first to make sure that we build everything, and I will just say debug, start debugging, and see what happens. So I make my breakpoint. I'm just going to say debug, just continue, right? Just see what happens. And there it says triggered a breakpoint, and we can say break, and that breakpoint, you know what, in debug, let me just stop debugging for a second and instead say start without debugging, just to see what happens. Okay, so here it is. It basically says, it's a little obscure, but it says debug assertion failed because it detected that the memory was used inappropriately, and if you investigate carefully, if I say, you know, abort, if I look at the actual, let me try this again, F5 to run it, when I say break, and if I look at the debug windows, and if I display call stack just to see what was called, maybe I'll see someplace. Basically, the debugger tells me that I have done something inappropriate with memory, right? So, because I actually don't see the source code for where that assertion took place. Anyway, this program really doesn't behave good, right? So it actually crashes. It cannot continue. We need to fix this. So I'm just going to say debug, stop debugging, and we have this situation with shallow copy. So obviously we must, instead of relying on the shallow copy, if we would like to allow our users to manufacture copies of our stack, we need to make sure that we give them a safe version of the construction of objects when we want to make a copy. Okay, so let's get this done.